John and Character presents Dorktales Storytelling with a geekish twist. The Boy Who Cried Hedgewolf by Amy Thompson. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. Boring. Reg, I barely got the introductory sentence out. And I am already snoring. See, look at me. Snoring. Snore, snore, snore. Come on, give me a chance. Absolutely wish I could, Jonathan, but I'm sleeping. Sleep, sleep, sleep. No, we're bickering. No, I'm snoozing. Snooze, snooze, snooze. Well, okay, I guess you're right. Really? Well, I always have my doubts. But you just said I'm right. Honestly, I wish I had that recorded. Well, don't get used to it, Jonathan. It was a fluke. Hey, I'll take the wins where I can get 'em. Thanks, Reg. But may I start the story now? And I guess so. Thanks. So where was I? Oh, yes. Once upon a time, there was a young shepherd boy in a little village. That's supposed to intrigue me? Just wait, Reg. You might relate to this. Oh, and may I ask how? Well, the shepherd boy was bored too. Really? Really. So bored that he often neglected his shepherding. He would sit on the hill above the valley and watch the sheep, but soon his eyes would begin to wander. He'd count the blades of grass. Oh my. Yeah, he'd point out the shapes in the clouds. Oh, look! There's a pod of narwhals. Oh, and over there, Eeyore.
Thanks for noticing me.
Oh, and Scooby. Zoink, Scoob! Like, we're clouds!
Yeah, Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Who would he point them out to? Well, nobody. He was all alone. Besides the grazing sheep. Ugh. Sheep smell like a porridge of dry dung in July. Wow! And gross. So, one day, an idea popped into his head. He stood up and started running down the hill, shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! A wolf is coming to steal our sheep and harm our town!" Oh, really? Ugh. Snooze. Reg, I thought we got past your drowsy dozing. Why are you interrupting again? Well, my apologies, Jonathan. I'd love to venture beyond that point, but it's not the story that's boring me anymore. Now it's the villain. The wolf? Precisely. I simply cannot support a wolf being the scapegrace coisterer again. It's trite. The big bad wolf and the three little hedgehogs. The wolf who dressed like Ninja Granny in Little Red. And now this wolf in sheep's clothing. Oh, Reg, you're being silly. And half the words you're saying are Old English. If you just listen to the story, you'll soon see how this story is different. I'd rather not, Jonathan. I find this wolf story repetitive and humdrum. But wolves are terrifying. Their teeth and claws, their growl, their "Arr!" Jonathan, that was a great impression. But no, I find I must put my paw down this time. I'm tired of wolves. So you won't let me continue telling the story unless the villain is something other than a wolf. Precisely. And, who, may I ask, would you rather the shepherd boy yell as approaching the town? Who is scarier than a wolf? A hedgewolf. A hedgewolf? What, did I stutter? What's a hedgewolf? Oh, it's one of the most frightening creatures. Half mad hedgehog, half horrifying werewolf. It's one of the most underrepresented baddies of all lore. Mother hedgehogs used to warn all of their insolent little piglets to behave, or risk incurring the wrath of the fearsome hedgewolf. Always got me into bed on time. Well, all my years of telling tales, and I've never even heard of a hedgewolf. Oh, consider yourself lucky. I've had many sleepless nights due to fear. Okay, so if I make the villain of this story a hedgewolf, You'll stop loudly falling asleep and I can continue? Well, I'm not a monster, Jonathan. A hedgewolf is. Fine. All right, where was I again? Oh, yes. The shepherd boy was running down the hill, calling out to the town. Hedgewolf! Hedgewolf! A hedgewolf is coming to steal our sheep and harm our town! That's what they do, right, Reg? Steal sheep, harm towns, trample gardens, peruse postage, yes. Wait, hedgewolves steal mail? Yes, among other inconveniences, like stealing one's Netflix password. Mind if I leave the less scary inconveniences out? This is getting complicated. Fine, my good man, but ineffective communication and purloining passwords are real fears that shouldn't be underestimated. Right, another time, Reg, another time. Because now, the townspeople were up in arms. They came running to the shepherd boy, brandishing pitchforks and flaming torches. But as they reached the bottom of the hill, their angry faces softened into confusion. People's eyes darted around, and their pace slowed. Where is the hedgewolf? Ah, good catch. Thanks. Where's the hedgewolf? The not-so-angry but more confused mob asked the shepherd boy. But he couldn't answer. He was too busy slapping his knee and doubling over in giggling glee. The crowd began extinguishing their torches in the dirt. A couple people even walked away, but an old woman in the front spoke up. You shouldn't lie about hedgewolves. One day you'll soon understand why. Ooh, wow, ominous. Yes, it was pretty scary, Reg. The shepherd boy watched as all of the villagers turned around and headed back into town. He wiped a tear from his eye. From crying? From guilt? Well, no, because he had been laughing so hard. You see, the shepherd boy really didn't take the villagers' reactions or warnings to heart. Well, that's unfortunate. Is that the story, then? Ah, there's more, Reg. Oh, goodness. Yep. The shepherd boy overlooked the woman's warning and continued to chuckle to himself as he walked home, guffawed as he put the sheep in their pen, and even snorted as he brushed his teeth before bed. Ugh, probably spit toothpaste all over the bathroom doing that. Yeah, most likely he had to wash the mirror. But he didn't care. In fact, the shepherd boy woke the next morning still amused about his prank. He kept thinking how clever he was and how silly he made those people look. All the way into the next afternoon as he sat on the hill and watched his flock of sheep graze in the valley. And then an idea came to him. Oh, not again. Yes, again. The shepherd boy wanted to prank the town another time. How rude! Extremely. He didn't have one moment of doubt. Nope. The shepherd boy, having grown bored just thinking about his prank from the previous day, decided he'd do it again. Now I'm starting to regret the hedgewolf suggestion. Oh, why? Well, it's not a funny thing to shout. It's truly dangerous. Well, so is crying wolf. Boring. Okay. We're sticking with hedgewolf. Though I'm pretty sure that's not a real thing. Keep saying that, and the hedgewolf will get you. Ah, is that a threat, Reginald? Well, I don't control the devilish impulses of a half-mad hedgehog, half-werewolf. Oh, that's too many halves. It's gotta be quarter-mad hedge, which, by the way, is a plant, and then another quarter-mad hog, a quarter wolf, quarter human? My lineage is not comprised of beings that are half shrubbery, half pig, nor human. You know what a hedgehog is, right? I guess I assumed you'd tell me sometime. It's called Google, Jonathan. Anyway, I'm a fairly common mammal on multiple continents. Distant cousin of the shrew, who has nothing to do with porcupines or pigs. My family just happens to live in lush gardens and have cute snouts. That's all. Nothing to be ashamed of. Anyway, weren't you telling some story that I was fact-checking? We're not mathematicians. Let's stick to what we know, shall we? That was enlightening. Thanks for sharing, Reg. Well, some poor soul's got to do it. So the shepherd boy was bored. Again? Yes, bored again, just like you. And he was ready for a prank again, as he watched his sheep graze in the valley. So he called to the village. Hedgewolf! Hedgewolf! A hedgewolf is chasing my sheep! The villagers won't fall for it another time. But they did. The villagers came running with their pitchforks and torches. A mob of people ready to defend their town and livestock from the hedgewolf. But when they reached the shepherd boy, you guessed it, Reg, they saw no hedgewolf. Their faces quickly turned to anger, as they only saw the shepherd boy laughing at how they believed him again. Oh, you're all so gullible! He taunted them as they angrily snuffed their torches and returned home. They weren't confused this time. This time, they were angry with the boy. Before they left, the old woman stepped forward from the crowd. I thought I warned you to stop crying hedgewolf, shepherd boy. No good can come from this. Ha! You foolish woman! The sheep are fine, and the town is fine. I was just having a laugh. Get over it! Sounds like the shepherd boy needs a nap and an attitude adjustment. He really does. But that's not what he did. Oh, let me guess. He dismissed the old lady, went home chuckling, and laughed his way through dinner? Yep. And for dinner that night, they had soup. So it was messy. And then he probably laughed his way through brushing his teeth and readying for bed too. Toothpaste everywhere. Oh, tell me I'm wrong, Jonathan, but did he wake up the next morning, still laughing about his prank? Sorry to say it, Reg, he did. The shepherd boy was very proud of his joke. So proud that the next day, as his flock grazed in the field, he began to tire of counting blades of grass or finding shapes in clouds. Oh no, not again. Again! I'll do it again! Oh, I wish I could just shake some sense into him. But you can't, and he was all alone on that hill. No warnings from the old woman stuck. So, the young shepherd boy stood up on the hill, looking down at his flock of sheep, filled his lungs with air, and then he saw something peculiar. What? The sheep were running. The shepherd's flock was clearly scared of something. Was it a hawk? No, the skies were clear. Was it a snake? No, the sheep could sidestep a tiny snake. What was it? There was a big, shadowy figure looming over the flock of terrified sheep. It had big fangs, like a wolf, but it stood on hind legs, like a human. A werewolf? But it also had spines up and down its back, like a porcupine, and a cute snout like a shrew. No! Yes! An actual hedgewolf was coming for the shepherd boy's flock! Oh, this is terrifying. I've got goosebumps. Not bored anymore, Reg? Oh, goodness, no. Keep going, but also hold me close. Okay, Reg. Hop into my arms. Ow! Ow! Oh, sorry. My quills are a defense mechanism, and I'm quite afraid right now. Oh, it's okay. Oh, I wish I had worn gloves. But, back to the story. The hedgewolf was there, in the valley below the shepherd, chasing his sheep, and once he ate them, there was no doubt he'd move on to the townspeople. The shepherd had to warn everyone. But, exactly, but is right. But, when the young shepherd called out to the town at the top of his lungs, Hedgewolf! Hedgewolf! A hedgewolf is attacking my sheep, and soon will come for the town! Nobody came to his aid. Oh, what a shame for the poor lad. Such a shame. The old lady's warning had come true. When the townspeople heard his calls, they thought he was playing a trick on them again. So they didn't rush to his side, and the shepherd boy had no other choice than to hide in a tree at the top of the hill. However, when the day came to an end, and the villagers saw that no sheep or shepherd boy had come home for supper, they began to worry. Because he wasn't tossing his soup everywhere? Or expectorating toothpaste all over the mere? Exactly. The shepherd boy's mother was quite worried, so she gathered the townspeople and searched for him in the dark. They went to the field and saw the flock of sheep had scattered. There were only a few shaking sheep surrounded by hoof prints in the mud, and next to them, large paw prints with massive claws. "It's happened, just like I warned him." The old woman led the group with their torches up the hill to where they knew the shepherd boy watched his flock. From his spot in the tree, he saw their torches nearing, so he climbed down to meet them. His knees and hands were scraped, clearly from a scramble up the tree, and his face was streaked with dried tears. What a lesson for the chap! Almost. When the boy approached the crowd, he shouted at them. "It was true! It was true! The hedgewolf was really here, and he scared away the sheep. I think it ate one. I thought it was going to head to the town after." The old woman stepped forward. "Well, I'm very grateful it didn't." "But nobody came for me when I called." The group turned and made their way back to the safety of town. The boy was confused and angry as they trudged home. "Why did nobody hear me?" he said to the old woman. "Because nobody believes a liar, even when they're telling the truth." And that's the lesson of the story. What do you think, Reg? Oh, terrifying. I know. The boy performed pranks so often that the townspeople thought he never told the truth. So when he finally said something honest, he was not believed. Oh, I will never lie again. Well, good. That is the lesson of the story. Still bored? No, Jonathan, I must admit, but I won't be able to sleep tonight. I'm too scared. Ah, don't worry, Reg. If you call for help, I'll believe you and come running. Well, good sir, I'm not quite sure you should. See, I kind of fibbed. Fibbed? Well, there's no such thing as a hedgewolf. Aha! I knew it! This has been a John and Character production. Today's story was written by Amy Thompson and performed by Jonathan Cormer. Sound recording and production by Jermaine Hamilton at Studio Circle Recordings. For more information about this episode, go to johnandcharacter.com. Oh, and if our storytelling brings you some joy, and a few laughs, we'd be so grateful if you'd help us live happily ever after by writing a review. It's one of the best ways for others to find our geeky tales. But before you go, please hit the subscribe button so future episodes will automatically show up in your podcast library. Now, go be the hero of your own story, and we'll see you next Once Upon a Time.